Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Place for Artists. Today I wanted to really sit down and relax during this very stressful subject of color mixing with your watercolors. Now, as a beginner, it can be very daunting and just very scary to mix your watercolors, but today I want to clear it all up and make it real easy for you to understand. So I'm going to be starting off with a Cadmium Red, which is a warm red. That means it leans towards the orange spectrum. And just to make sure, if you guys are following along in real time, clean your brushes between each color. I went ahead and I added some blue to the palette, and now I am adding a cadmium yellow, which is more towards the orange side. Now I picked this on purpose because with your red and yellow leaning towards warm, that means they both lean towards the orange spectrum and they'll make a very beautiful orange. The beauty of this is blue and yellow will mix a really pretty green, even if the blue is a warm blue and the yellow is a warm yellow. But when you try to do an orangey red with a greenish blue, you get a brownish muddy black, right? So here I wanted to kind of give you a visual of that. I'm mixing that warmer red with that cooler-ish blue, and you're gonna get what I call blurple. It's not quite purple, it's not quite black, but it's not what you're going for. So later on I am going to choose a different red, and I will get to that later. But I'm going to mix the red and the yellow, and I'm trying to do as equal parts as possible, and you get this gorgeous orange, right? And then you mix that same yellow. Remember, we're doing equal parts here, try your best, and rinse between. Then we're going to add a little bit of blue, and you get this big vibrant grass green, right? The perfect color wheel. So as I was saying, we're going to be creating our own color wheel, and this is just to show you that the primary colors, blue, red, and yellow, will create your secondary colors, which is purple, orange, and green. I'm not going to dive too deep into the warm and cools, but just know you'll need a more magenta red rather than a cadmium red if you want to mix purple with blue. But in turns, you won't be able to mix a very vibrant orange with the yellow. I suggest if you're going to do this, have two reds, one magenta and one cad red, and then create your color wheel. Here is that magenta red, and you can see it is very pinky purple, and it's definitely a red, it's just leaning more towards the cool side, which is blue. So when I mix the magenta red with equal parts of that blue, you get this beautiful succulent purple. I end up adding a little more red because it was a little too blue for me, but that was the purple before. It was very grayish, very ugly, and now we have this very vibrant purple. So this is just the start of the color wheel. Red, blue, and yellow, those are your primaries, and then your secondaries will be your purple, orange, and green. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mix what I call the in-betweens. You're going to take red and orange, but you're going to do it to make red orange. You're going to take 2 parts red to 1 part yellow. It brings it more towards that orange side, leaving it less red, but it's an in-between color. And you're going to repeat this for all of your colors. So for the red-violet color, it's going to be 2 part red, which is specifically the magenta red, to 1 part blue. And you get this gorgeous, I love violet red. It's so vibrant and it just brings peace. Now for the yellow orange, it's going to be 1 part red to 2 parts yellow. This is how it's going to go typically for the rest of these. For your yellow green, it's going to be 2 parts yellow to 1 part blue. One thing I think I noticed is all of the colors are primary with secondary colors second. So here I'm going to do 2 parts blue to 1 part yellow to get a blue-green. And honestly, blue-green is kind of like turquoise, but it's not quite. And then to get blue violet, it's going to be 2 parts blue to 1 part red. Again, if anything is confusing you, on my blog, which I will link down below, it has the color charts there. So if you ever are painting, you forgot, or you didn't write it down and make your own color chart, you can see a visual there. So now we're going to be moving on to creating our light brown. This is going to be a mixture of equal parts red violet and yellow. If you're not sure or you forgot, red violet is 2 parts red, 1 part blue with 1 part yellow. That's going to equal this beautiful brown you see on screen. It's almost like a burnt umber or a more reddish brown, but I think it's gorgeous and it's great if you need it for brick or any other type of natural tone you're going for. For tan, we're going to mix orange and half parts black. So black goes a very long way in watercolors. You're just trying to desaturate the orange a bit and adding a lot of water to get you that very, very beautiful tan color. And again, if you want it to be more fair, or if you want it to be more pigment, add more pigment or add more water to lighten it. For the darker brown, you're going to mix red, orange, and black. Again, that would be 2 parts red, 1 part yellow, and 1 part black. This is going to yield a very desaturated brown, very muted. And again, add more water if you want it to be lighter, or add equal parts of all the colors to create a darker tone. Playing around with this will give you practice on learning how much water and pigment you need to create the color you're looking for. For the peach tone, it's actually pretty simple. You're just going to take 1 part red and 1 part orange, and you're going to just add quite a bit of water to it to give you this very peachy tone. Oddly enough, when you add water, the red shines through a bit more than the orange, so you kind of get this very neutral peach tone. So this is kind of the basics to mixing your watercolors. Your 3 primaries will literally mix everything you need. So this is how you mix all of these different types of browns and more neutral tones using the primary and secondary colors that I've told you about today. Again, if you are lost on any of the mixture charts, I do have them over there on my website, on the blog. I will link that down below. So if you are creating your own color chart, take this exact chart and take all the colors and mix them, and then add more water as you bring the chart in until you have a full chart. These are all of the colors that I really suggest when you are getting started with watercolors. You really don't need anything more than this. If you want to make your life really simple, I would get a magenta red, cad yellow, cyan blue, and a black. And if you want to watch any more of my helpful watercolor tutorials, you can check out these playlists here, and I will see you guys next week. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!